got shunted so hard from behind that all the fucking plastic fancy paneling popped off. He must have been pulling out of there. And they've now closed that entrance with good reason, because it's right on a corner which cars speed around. But I saw a car parked here for 2 hours waiting for rescue. And eventually the guy just got out of it, gave up and went off and went and got himself a coffee somewhere, I suppose. Maybe in Sandringham. So I was coming along here, and let's try again. The video cut off, and I was talking about the thing about rubbish here, because I just had a run-in with the collector, the rubbish collector. You have to pause that to read it. This is Grimsdyke, Harrow and Weald Common. You aren't allowed to graze here anymore. Not that there's much to graze, but... So I was walking down, instead of walking on the pavement, I could have been walking down here. It's actually cobbled. Just in the rough patches. I could do some Andy Goldsworthy style stuff here, except I don't think they'd appreciate having the cobbles lifted. And they're all grubby, you can't see the colours. But we could do permanent decorations there. Now this must be birch, right? I don't know anything about trees. It's not that they all look the same, it's just look, it's maple. That was a great post, Lauren. Look, the mushrooms are growing on the tree in situ. All the way up. So that's a hongo infection muy grave. Fatal. I don't know. It's dropped its branches. Jesus in San Jose was always telling me, fíjate en las hojas, Ian. Fíjate en las hojas. They had this one tree I was always trying to find. You use it for making rope. You can cut rope from the bark of this tree in about 5-10 minutes with a machete. You can make yourself a backpack. There's an apple tree here. Three apples. So you can't even see where it is. Maybe the monkeys threw this here. Maybe it's to make me feel bad about not replying to my invitation to the apple lady. They're having an apple afternoon at Grimsdyke in Lady Gilbert's orchard. That's it. This is the tree. Dr. Grundy in Palm Springs would definitely give me a pat on the back for finding that. I googled Tom's. It seems to be some sort of queer swim club. So I don't know how I ended up with that t-shirt. I'm sure I chose it in turbo. Dear me, no wonder I had problems. So the holly here is sprouting in they cut the trees, they completely cut them down, and it's just copper stick. Well, that you'd expect. But they must have been really molesting them to get the others to go. You could just carry on coppicing that. It's because it's just hard to kill. Tree stump. The stumps shoot. Oh, do you see that? There's a squirrel and a pigeon that must have been up to something because they both ran off from the same place. Laurie, oh, it was lovely finding your photo. I borrowed it for a thumbnail. My daughter wouldn't let me use any of her art as thumbnails. If I had a tree book, I'd be able to look this up and I'd know if it was birch or beech. My guess is birch. Yep. Beech. Same mushroom. Same species. I had this bizarre fantasy about two different trees in the forest in Madidi. One called Bitaka and the other one called can't remember the other one. Bitaca and cuchi, I think is its Spanish name, is this very hard wood. This is the video about scavenging behaviour in native animals. Did I say video or sign? Some railway sleepers. This was a project. Sculpture. Maybe it was bridge making. See the ponds, there's all these things must have some interesting stuff in. If they've been collecting runoff from the road, you don't know what's in them. They're probably natural forms of like a proportion. I don't know which way the road drains. Maybe it drains the other side. I can't tell the camera. There's some fly tipping been going on here. So I was walking on here talking about the foxes. There's 3 foxes that, I think there's 3. They came the night before last, and then something came last night. I'm pretty sure, I didn't see, but I'm pretty sure it was one of the foxes. Very briefly. Pigeon again. And they get up to all sorts of stuff at night. Sometimes to do with the bin, because our bin is always overflowing, and sometimes to do with the and it seemed like one night something ripped up one of the mattresses, and one of the foam mattresses that had been left outside. Whoa, wow, look at that. So yeah, that the other tree. So this Bitaca is incredibly heavy wood, and it stays green, and it has some built-in antifungal. And you can bury a post, and 20 years later it's still green at the bottom, but it doesn't rot. And it's heavy as steel. Unbelievably heavy. My God. I worked on moving some of those poles of that stuff, and it nearly killed me. Chucha said I looked like a viejito for a week afterwards, and I was on ibuprofen. And then I forgot, and I went and drank, and I got horrendously sick. But that man's an ox. And I swear, he was throwing these things down a slope, and I cannot imagine what he was doing up there. But these fucking things were sliding down the slope, and they come down like a freight train. It was definitely oh, that's fox. Guessing. Doesn't look like the average dog diet. No, it doesn't look like a fox diet either. It's full of seeds. Maybe the badgers here. And I imagine that he had read that bit of Aristotle's Mechanics about lifting a plank from both ends and lifting it in the middle, and that he'd worked out a hoist where was the weight of just one of these planks, he could lift another two up, and that he was using that to shuffle them down to us, because the speed at which these things arrived, and how one person could handle these things, I do not know, because they usually took six fully grown men to carry one, and this one guy was up there. Anyway, Don Nestor is his real name. And here we are back to the FUD thing, the weird event. Except I'm in slightly better humour this time. Well, that was a real... The guy from Grupo Puente, who he took these groups of Americans to San Jose on the pretext of ripping everyone's teeth out. He was very jealous, apparently, that I got to stay there for 8 months without paying, and he had to pay $200,000 for their trip. I heard him saying on the phone to his sponsors, yeah, well, it's a process. Wow. There are a lot of different little regions here. So here's the other one.